All right. What's everybody saying? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna be going over 10 easy tips for fat loss that have helped me and my clients on multiple occasions lose 10 kg of body fat. So my credentials for this topic is obviously I'm currently an active men's physique athlete, currently a week out from our international debut at the Europeans. Also, I'm an online coach. The physique itself is also the talking. Follow my Instagram, it's going to be on my screen now. You can keep up to date with me there, on here, and yeah, let's get straight into it. 10 tips to help you lose 10 kg of body fat. Simple. And number one is that there is no magic solution. By far, from my own personal experience, the single biggest mistake that people tend to make is thinking that there is a magic solution to help achieve their fitness goals. At the end of the day, if you're not tracking your meals, tracking your calories, tracking your macros, and you're not training right, then your dream lean physique will never be achieved. Simple as that. Little disclaimer for you, you can also eat clean, but if your numbers aren't adding up, you can still gain fat and not get anywhere near your goal. So to keep it simple, for tip number one, establish your strategy, eat right, train right, be right with your numbers, and that's the blueprint. On to tip number two now, and that is prioritizing your protein intake. Now, when I say this, I do not mean ignore your carbs. Your carbs are the foundation to keep this process ticking, if you like. Watch your calories and track all of your macros. Hitting that protein target every single day should be priority within your nutritious journey, along with being in that calorie deficit, of course. To number three now, and that is prioritizing your NEAT, your NEAT. For those of you who don't know, this stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Essentially, to keep the idea of this simple, is all the calories that your body burns outside of physical activity. Your NEAT can be boosted from eating right and exercise. Now, a lot of people tend to over dramatize and overdo cardio in the process of fat loss. While cardio is important, you can also increase your NEAT and rely on your NEAT more. So pretty much getting your steps in, being active throughout the day helps boost fat loss times to an even more optimal rate than if you were just to overdo cardio. But make sure you don't skip your cardio. But yeah, to keep it short, do not ignore the idea of NEAT. It can be a real difference maker. Tip number four for me is consistency. One cheat meal won't ruin your progress. One bad training session will not ruin your training plan or your physique. Real results come from repetition over prolonged periods of time. A major tip from me is anytime that you slip up on your plan, do not change it. Do not let your emotions take over and make changes into your program or any of that. Simply pick up where you left off before your slip up and keep it going. And over time, over that prolonged time period, your consistency should add up and outweigh any of the slip-ups. This brings me on to my next point, and that is this process is supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. Embrace the journey and keep your eyes focused on the place that you are trying to get to. Most people tend to fall at the very first hurdle when the glory, so to say, of choosing to stick to a goal, hypothetically in your head, wears off. At the end of the day, hunger and less energy are supposed to be a part of the journey, and it's not something that you can just curveball and ignore. Anything worth having is difficult to achieve at the end of the day. Obviously, with the right plans and the right processes, things can be made easier, and it is about training smart and not just overly hard as well. But the journey is going to be hard and there is going to be some difficulties along the way that you will just have to get over. But as long as you embrace it and you fall in love with the process, these things shouldn't stop you, man. Now, number 6, it's also a very underrated point, and that is taking care of your digestive system. This by itself will never determine your fat loss completely, but it does play a hugely influential factor in my opinion. At the end of the day, a healthy system helps absorb the nutrients that you are putting into your body efficiently. Whilst if your system is poor, you lose that bit of control that you have within your diet and your plan overall. Bloating, discomfort, bowel problems can all play negative parts within your plan that can overall cause extra difficulty that you don't want, and losing that bit of extra control that you can have within this process. From my own personal experience, even being in prep, when your digestive system is good, everything else is cruising and the whole process is made easier. Choose simple foods, hit your fiber intake, stay hydrated, and your body will thank you and everything will be running more efficiently. Now, tip number 7 is stemming on from our last point, the use of intermittent fasting. So same as the last time, this isn't any sort of magic and it does not break the laws of thermodynamics. But from my own personal experience, whenever I sporadically add in intermittent fasting into my preps, into my plans, into my diet and lifestyle in general, it just helps me out massively. Sure, some of the benefits that I experience quite a lot when I do this is better management of hunger levels and better morning productivity. And as you know, we have talked about morning productivity before on this channel and the importance of that. From what I find and from what my clients experience, it helps your mind overall through the more sort of difficult stages of prep and dieting in general. But in short, again, this does not directly burn fat, but it helps you stick to your plan. And again, common theme in this video, it helps everything run smoother and more efficiently and helps stay in a calorie deficit, and it makes the whole process easier. Point number 8 now, and that is that your environment in all of this matters. In short, be conscious of the type of environment that you surround yourself in. If you always surround yourself with temptations and it seems like you're always one step away from a bad decision, then eventually you are going to break. So make making good decisions easier. Your overall environment where sticking to a diet and sticking to your goals is not looked at as something out of the ordinary, but it's just looked at as something normal. Moving on to number 9 now, and that is probably one of the most important ones on this list, and it is sleep and recovery. As cliche as this sounds, you actually cannot get away from the fact that this is so crucial. So we have touched on the idea of NEAT previously, and adequate sleep and recovery is a NEAT multiplier and therefore a fat loss multiplier. Obviously, as you know, countless studies already back this up. Pretty much sleep and recovery affects hormones, energy levels, training quality, all of the important things. So take care of your sleep, take care of your recovery, and multiply your chances of having a successful fat loss diet phase. Also, you don't need to necessarily get caught up in all the metrics of sleep or recovery and measure every single last detail, but again, consistency over perfection. So get your 7 to 9 hours sleep in as much as you can, and that should be enough to help you reach your goals. Moving on to the last point now, and that is your food volume or volume of food. In short, the amount of food you can eat plays a huge role in your fat loss phase and your diet overall. Essentially, lean proteins, simple carbs, fiber-rich fruit and veg, and just clean food in general allows you to eat more during your diet and eat more volumes of healthy and good food. This in turn then makes your diet a lot more manageable than if you were just straight up starve yourself and not be as nutritious. And this in return obviously returns better results. Do not just aimlessly reduce calories, but be conscious of what foods you consume and be strategic in the volume of foods that you allow yourself. There is a lot of ways not to starve yourself and be in a deficit and lose all the fat that you would like to lose. But yeah, so that was 10 quick and simple tips that helped me and countless other people lose 10 kg or more of fat and get that dream lean physique look. This is a bit of a different video for me today, but if you like this type of content, let me know and we can do way more just straight up talking aside from the other stuff that we're also doing on this channel. But yeah, if this was valuable, support the thing, you already know what to do. And that's all from me today. Love.